Greetings. My name is Colonel John L. Eichner, and I am here with my partner, Mr. Eric Cuevas, to provide you an update today on the Air Force Integrated Personnel and Pay System. Eric and I are the Functional Management Office leads. It's led by both the Personnel A1 community, which is the hat that I wear, Colonel Eichner, and also our Air Force Finance and Accounting Office, which is the lead that Mr. Eric Cuevas has. We'll go through the agenda today. Today we're just going to give a little bit of an introduction of ourselves and really what our priorities are for the program, a little bit of AFIPPS background and some program dates, and a little bit of details on the community and how to contact us and reach out for more information. So there we are in picture form, and I want to share with you our priorities. Mr. Cuevas and I have dual priorities for the development of the Air Force Integrated Pay and Personnel System, and our first priority there is a clear partnership between the A1 and the FM communities. And we work hard to day have a strong partnership and are asking that our partners out in the field, our A1 community, our FSSs, our comptrollers, are working hard together to understand AFIPPS and understand how you can work together for preparation for the system rollout. Next, obviously, our role in the Functional Management Office is to develop the system for Air Force. So we are focused with our team of experts that work at Accenture Federal Services down in the city of San Antonio to do the system development, and day to day they provide their functional expertise to make sure the system that is developed is the system that will work well for our Air Force and improving pay and personnel functions. And then the other priority that we have is preparation of the field for the Air Force Integrated Pay and Personnel deployment. And I'm not going to talk a lot on this, but Mr. Cuevas will be going into a little bit more detail later in this slide presentation on the data cleansing. There is a lot of work to be done across the Air Force in both the A1 community and the FM community, and we're asking that you are involved in that preparation because the work that we do today will benefit us as we do the rollout in 2022. And then finally, we want to empower the 6F and the 3F career fields because it is the airmen that are sitting day by day in our comptroller squadrons and our FSS squadrons that are going to be key to rolling out this program successfully. So we want you ready for this change, and it's part of doing these webcasts and putting our information out that prepares you for this, so that you can ask the questions and engage with your leaders and with the Functional Management Office on the questions that you have to make this program a success. And now I'm going to hand it over to Mr. Cuevas to talk more about the 3F and 6F career field manager priorities.
Thank you. Reiterating the priorities identified by the career field managers during the AFIPPS Pay Symposium held in October, it was important to let our communities know that they had to do 5 key things. First, continue to pay our airmen accurately and timely today, not just when AFIPPS comes into being. Second, focus on partnering to clean up PERS pay data as to pay our airmen accurately and timely in an AFIPPS environment. Third, prevent new pay issues by being proactive and innovative in your daily operations and sharing that between FM and A1. Fourth, partner to train personnel on military pay policies and procedures to increase their understanding on how to execute military pay. Remember, FM, we are the experts out there, and we need to help A1 to move forward and take over the execution of military pay. And then finally, prepare our folks for the new mission sets that are sure to come. As already stated, personnel and FM must partner to clear discrepancies which exist between DEERS, MOPDS, and DJMS, as ensuring our systems are in sync will drive timely and accurate pay to today and in the future. Clearing dependency discrepancies timely is essential to ensuring airmen receive the proper basic allowance for housing compensation. Addressing dependency discrepancies will not only serve to pay our airmen properly today, but better position the Air Force to move to AFIPPS while saving scarce taxpayer dollars. ADSN Mismatch is another area FM and personnel can partner to pay our airmen accurately and reduce frustration and overpayments in the field. For those not familiar with the ADSN Mismatch, this is where the pay system shows a member is stationed at one location, while the personnel system shows the member being stationed at a different location. What this means is airmen are either being over or underpaid entitlements and allowances, and that really is not a good way of doing business. Again, by partnering, FM personnel can minimize this discrepancy and ensure airmen are paid correctly today. As you may have heard, a pay symposium was held this past October. We had FMers and personnelists attending from all levels, from base level to the air staff. Most importantly, we had the FM and personnel superintendents in attendance. The theme of the symposium was partnership, and the FM and A1 superintendents are key to growing the partnership, which is essential to paying airmen accurately and timely today and when AFIPPS goes live.
All right, so looking at our current state, as I had mentioned earlier, Mr. Cuevas and myself with the Functional Management Office team are responsible for bringing the experts to do the developmental roles for the system. So if we look at this slide, it really just provides a couple of timelines and key points to highlight in terms of the timeline for AFIPPS Go Live. So we started back in January of 2019 developing the program, and we will be developing through August of 2020. So that will be the systems development piece. And then once the development is complete, obviously there's testing that has to be done. That testing will bring in professionals from both the A1 and the FM community to ensure that the program that we have developed meets the needs of the users in the field, and that as we roll out the program, that we will see smooth sailing through the execution of the program. And then finally, one of the things that I know the teams are really focused on is system training and support. Anytime a new program is rolled out, our airmen in the field say, how am I going to be ready for executing and working in this system? So in 2021, probably between about late January to June, and really hitting it hard after June of 2021, there will be teams that come from all of the FSSs within the field to Center Federal Services, and you will get training in depth on the system, and then those folks who come to Accenture will then move out to the field to do some train the trainer, so that there will be plenty of training and education that enables the competencies of our airmen to execute their roles in the system.
As you can see from the new proposed AFIPPS timelines, in the 2019-2020 timeframe, we will be concentrating primarily on system and training development. In January 2021, an interim capability will be released to the field. We will continue completing training activities and system testing, and when 1 January 2022 comes around, the Air Force will roll out AFIPPS. As a result of the 10 October meeting, Air Force senior leadership agreed to rolling out AFIPPS in 2 phases. On January 1, 2021, members will be able to create AFIPPS accounts, verify key personal data, and correct discrepancies, view and print reports, very important, stress test the system. On 1 January 2022, AFIPPS will be fully deployed, and airmen will be able to initiate pay transactions and requests, which will flow to HR specialists for approval. Leave requests will flow via an absence management module, and most importantly, our airmen will be paid more timely and accurately.
Now, looking forward into organizational considerations, it's important for both our HR and our FM professionals to understand how the organization is changing. So what you see is a layout of the current state of a comptroller squadron. There's many different lines of effort that a comptroller squadron is responsible for. As you can see down the line, budget, accounting, travel pay, military pay, civilian pay, dispersing, QA, and also the non-appropriated funds financial analysis. In the future, so the comptroller squadron will still remain with all of the major lines of effort, with the exception of the military pay line of effort. That will be what is subsumed and is assumed by the FSS in taking on the military pay duties. So just to be clear, the comptroller squadron is not going away in total. It has many different lines of effort that it will continue to work and continue to provide services for our installations. And the A1 community, our FSSs, are only assuming the mil pay duties out of the comptroller squadron. So where are we going from here? As of today, as I mentioned, we are still doing the system development, and in that we will have testing and training that will be in place and provided to our communities. We are also ensuring that the items that need to be done today for any type of organizational changes that effectively align A1 and FM are being coordinated and approved at the appropriate levels at the Headquarters Air Force. And then finally, we will continue to outreach and connect with the pay-pers community. We will do that in many different ways, through our digital outreach, which is through websites, videos, and webcasts like we're doing today. We will continue to provide our messages and newsletters. We will also be working on planning another PERS Pay Symposium. As Eric mentioned, we had one in October. We're looking forward to hosting another one in 2020 for that additional in-person engagement to prepare for AFIPPS rollout. And finally, we rely on you, each airman that are in both the comptroller squadrons, that are in the FSSs, to be part of our Change Champion Network. The information that you hear today on AFIPPS is information that you can utilize to really outreach and ensure that all airmen within your organization understand what is to come and what their role is. All right, so the next couple of slides I'm going to go through fairly quickly. This is just to provide our airmen in the field what is the system looking like as part of the development. And so for those personnelists that are listening to this webcast, what you'll see here is a snapshot that looks a lot like what NOL-PDS is today. The only difference, if you look, there's a new block that you see that includes salary information. So then, as well as we are doing our development, we are coming across some things that may have to change and may go into different places within NOL-PDS. So some of the items that our teams are working on, and this is an example of that right now, is duty information. So as we go through the system development, we realize that in order to make sure that the system functions effectively and contains the information to ensure accurate and timely pay, that there are new fields that will have to be created within NOL-PDS. So as you can see, we are working with our NOL-PDS experts to develop those fields to ensure that the system will roll out and work effectively for our airmen. And next, this is again just some other examples of where you will see some more information included that you have not seen in the past in NOL-PDS. So you can see grade step placement provides that in this example we have an E5 that is over 3 years, which obviously is directly related to the salary that they will be provided and will earn as an entitlement at the bottom, which shows the rate that they will earn. And then if you go to the next slide, that just also shows additional information that will be in MilPDS. And remember, AFIPPS is really just MilPDS with the pay module turned on. So you will continue to see the screens that you see today with additional information plugged in for financial data so that we can pay our members timely and more accurately. And this will improve the pay and accuracy because it's all going to be connected in one system within the Air Force Integrated Paying Personnel System. So our team members will have the capability to see the issues and correct them on the spot. Now I'll turn it over to Mr. Cuevas that will give you a little bit of insight in more detail of the development and what we've developed thus far.
Excitingly, the system integrator, FMO, and PMO teams have turned the internal workings of the system you just saw into a basic pay statement. While much work remains, I am proud to report that the Air Force is the only service component to produce a pay statement to date. At the end of the day, for AFIPPS to be a success, FM and A1 must partner, share knowledge, and work the issues collectively. To my FM brethren out there, please share your knowledge. We are the experts concerning military pay execution. To my personnel brethren, engage your FMers at whatever level you sit at to increase your knowledge, as that will serve to reduce your concerns about AFIPPS.
So in wrapping up today's webcast, we provide a plethora of websites and informational areas that all airmen can go to find out more information about AFIPPS. We have a lot of information out there. I request that our leaders in the field are reaching out, grabbing this information, and sharing it with your teams, because we are going to rely on you each and every day to understand what AFIPPS is and how together we make this a success as we roll this out in both January 2021 with accounts establishment and then the final pay module in January of 2022. Thank you so much for your time and have a great day.